Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the meditation session. Let us take a moment to arrive in front of our screen, on our cushion, or on our chair. Let us take 3 deep breaths. Every time we inhale, we try to refresh our attention. Every time we exhale, we try to relax. Now let us take a look at our posture, our body posture for this session. Ideally sitting on the floor. If you're sitting on the chair, it's also fine. Just make sure you're not leaning against the support of the chair and not leaning forward either. If you're sitting on the floor, the best would be in the full lotus posture with each foot on top of the other leg. But this might be a little bit difficult. Make sure you're not pushing your body. Make sure you're comfortable. You can simply sit cross-legged. You can also try half lotus or even Burmese style with one leg in front of the other. The hands are in the concentration or meditation mudra with your right hand on top of the left, the two thumbs slightly touching, and this rests on your lap. The most important is for your back to be straight, for your spine to be aligned, your body to be upright. The shoulders are even and relaxed. The neck is aligned with the spine. You can very slightly tilt the head forward, but not too much. You can place your tongue just behind your upper teeth towards the upper palate. This helps to reduce the production of saliva while you meditate. And finally, the eyes are not completely closed. We leave them slightly opened, gazing 1 or 2 meters in the space in front of you, 45 degrees cast down. This allows for some light to enter. If you have a tendency to sink into dullness, this is really helpful. So this posture is known as the 7-point Buddha Vairochana posture, and out of these 7 points, the most important is for the body to be upright, for the back to be straight. Now that we have a conducive posture for meditation, let us look at our mind. Let us look at our motivation for this session. Let us try to generate a motivation of bodhicitta, a Mahayana motivation. So bodhicitta is the Sanskrit term for the awakening mind. It is the wish, the uncontrived wish, the aspiration to achieve the state of full awakening, to achieve the state of Buddhahood, in order to benefit countless sentient beings in the best way possible. So achieving the state of Buddhahood, in Tibetan Buddha is Sangye. San has the connotation of purification, having completely purified, completely eliminated all the mental veils, all the afflictions, as well as all the cognitive obscurations. And Gye has the connotation of having achieved all the qualities, having perfected the mind completely. and thus having achieved a state of omniscience, knowing the three times, knowing all phenomena simultaneously, and therefore knowing how to guide sentient beings in the best way. By knowing each sentient being's past, present, and future, and knowing their capacity, the Buddhas know how to teach them so that it benefits them. So we want to achieve this state of a Buddha, the state of omniscience, because we recognize that all sentient beings, since time immemorial, since beginningless time, all sentient beings have been trapped in the vicious prison of their own mind. Because of self-grasping ignorance, the root of all our problems, the root of all the afflictions. Self-grasping ignorance is the misconception that we have. We apprehend things in a mistaken way. We think that all phenomena, including the self, exist so solidly. We have the impression they exist inherently, intrinsically from their own side. Because of that, we have the inappropriate attention. This other mistaken conception that we feel we are the center of the universe. We feel that we are more important than others. Because of that, all the other afflictions arise, such as anger, attachment, jealousy, pride, depression, anxiety, and so on and so forth. The Buddha taught about 84,000 afflictions. All these negative emotions that are constantly going on in our minds. Because of these, we engage in actions that are negative. We engage in non-virtuous actions, such as killing, stealing, lying, harsh speech, idle gossip, and so on and so forth. And because of these non-virtuous actions, we accumulate negative karmas. And these negative karmas inevitably, at one point or the other, they ripen in the form of unpleasant experiences, experiences that we call suffering. Even the pleasant experiences we have, what we call happiness or pleasure, these are temporary. They are taking place within samsara, within cyclic existence, this prison of the mind. And they are the result, these pleasant experiences, they are the result of the positive action we engage in, positive actions, the virtuous actions, the positive karmas we accumulate, such as helping others, practicing generosity, and so on and so forth. Because of the self-grasping ignorance, we fail to recognize that phenomena actually lack an intrinsic nature, they lack an objective existence. Lama Zopa Rinpoche used to say that phenomena are merely labeled by the mind. because of failing to recognize that, because of self-grasping ignorance. Even the positive actions we do are contaminated, meaning that the result, the positive karmas we accumulate, will result in a pleasant experience within samsara. So because of all these karmas, positive, negative karmas that we have accumulated, constantly, since time immemorial, all sentient beings, including ourselves, are constantly taking rebirth again and again and again and again. When it will be the time, the end of our present life, one of these karmas, according to our mental state, one of these karmas will ripen and propel us into the next life. So constantly we have been going through the different realms of existence, the different states of rebirth. At the moment we have this precious human rebirth, but in the past, countless times we have been born as animals, born as pretas, born as hell realm beings, born as suras and asuras. Let us try to generate a sense of compassion for ourselves and all beings who are trapped in this vicious circle. We can contemplate how the suffering can be so intense in those realms. We can see with our own eyes, in the human realm, so many people suffering from poverty, acute sicknesses, or living in countries that are at war. We can see in the animal realm how there is no peace. There is in the wilderness, for example, a constant fear for the animals to be chased by predators. They never really rest fully. We can imagine what it must be like to be born as a preta, as a hell being. Try to generate a sense of compassion, thinking, may all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. Not only that, trying to generate a sense of responsibility, trying to give rise to deep altruistic intention. At the moment I have this precious human life, which is extremely rare. We can see on the planet, at the moment there are about 8 billion human beings. How many have what is actually called the precious human life is so few, so little. Those who have all their mental, physical capacities, but who are also taking interest in looking inwards, looking at the mind, recognizing the afflictions and trying to eliminate them, trying to work on the mind, trying to develop the mind. So less out of the 8 billion human beings. Very few have this interest. So now that I have this precious human life, I have a responsibility towards all the countless beings in all the realms who don't have this precious opportunity to do the work of listening, contemplating, meditating in order to eliminate the afflictions, all the mental veils. All sentient beings in the past have been so kind to me. They don't have this opportunity at the moment. They are so busy indulging either in the pleasures of the senses or completely overwhelmed by their suffering reality. No opportunity to transform their mind. Therefore, for them, as well as for myself, I'm going to do the work of transforming my mind. I myself will free all sentient beings from suffering and the causes of suffering. Now, how can I do that? I myself have all these afflictions and mental veils. So therefore, in order to help beings, in order to guide beings perfectly, first, I must eliminate all these mental afflictions, all these cognitive obscurations, and achieve the state of full awakening, the state of a Buddha. Let us try to generate this most beautiful mind of bodhicitta by thinking, may I become a Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. With this motivation in mind, we will engage in Shamatha practice, calm abiding, meditation. So there are 4 instructions for Shamatha. The first one we already looked at the beginning of the session is the body posture. So ideally sitting in the 7-point Vairochana meditation posture. Out of these 7 points, the most important is for the back to be straight, for the body to be upright. The second thing is that we need an object to meditate on. So if you're familiar with Shamatha, if you're familiar with single-pointed concentration, I would recommend that you stick to the object you're the most familiar with for this meditation. And if you don't have an object that you're familiar with, what I would suggest is to take the breathing sensation at the entrance of the nostrils. While you inhale, exhale, you can feel the air at the entrance of the nostrils. A little bit cooler when you inhale, a little bit warmer when you exhale. Try to place all your focus on that sensation during this meditation. The third instruction is that we tend to get distracted while we meditate. It is difficult to remain entirely focused on our object of meditation because our mind is so addicted, to jump from one thought to the other, from one thing to the other. Very difficult to remain fixed, to remain focused and concentrated on one single thing. So there are 2 main ways distraction takes place. The first one is called mental excitement. Basically, we are distracted with thoughts, mostly thinking about the past and the future. For example, thinking about our plans for today, or thinking about something that happened this morning or something that happened last night. And therefore, we are thinking about that and not focused on our object of meditation. The second way we tend to get distracted is called mental laxity, also called dullness or lethargy. We don't put enough application in our meditation, and the mind starts to sink. We kind of fall asleep, and therefore we also lose our object of meditation. So finally, the last thing is that there are 2 antidotes that we need to use. We need to train in using those 2 antidotes to counteract these distractions. The first antidote is called introspection or alertness. So basically, a small part of our mind in the background is checking. I have a friend who calls this the inner camera. Inner camera that is looking at our mind. What is our mind doing? So if this introspection notices that the mind has wandered either in excitement or laxity, immediately we make use of the second antidote, which is called mindfulness. And the role of mindfulness is to bring the mind back onto the object of meditation. So we will do this meditation for about 6 or 7 minutes, trying to identify the two ways we get distracted and making sure we use the antidotes of introspection and mindfulness, noticing what our, like checking what our mind is doing, noticing when we get distracted, and when we get distracted, bringing the mind back onto the object of meditation every time. So let us try for about 6, 7 minutes. Gently come out of the meditation. And we will dedicate the merits of meditating on bodhicitta and shamatha. So you might have noticed that when you attend a Buddhist teaching or meditation, usually it starts with motivation. Then you have the teaching or the meditation or the puja itself, and then the dedication. I have a teacher who calls this going mad: motivation, action, dedication. So why we dedicate is because it is said that one moment of anger has the capacity to destroy eons of positive potential that we have accumulated. So when we meditate on shamatha, when we meditate on bodhicitta, and especially when we meditate on the wisdom of emptiness, we accumulate a lot of positive potential to transform our mind. But just one moment of anger can destroy all the positive potential we have accumulated since hundreds, thousands, eons of years. So dedicating is a little bit like if we have, notes on us, if we have cash, putting them to the bank so that the next time we run into a thief, he has nothing to steal. So similarly, when we dedicate properly the virtues that we accumulate towards full awakening, then the anger cannot destroy it. So let us take a moment to dedicate these virtues so that we may soon, very soon, become fully awakened Buddhas in order to guide all sentient beings perfectly without leaving any sentient being aside. May the precious minds of the bodhicitta, the mind of awakening, and the precious mind that realizes emptiness, that have not yet arisen, arise and grow, and may that which has arisen never diminish but increase forevermore. Due to our merits, may our spiritual guides, and especially His Holiness the Dalai Lama, have very long and healthy lives, so that they may continue to teach us the Dharma of Buddha Shakyamuni, and may the spiritual teachers who recently passed away, such as Lama Zopa Rinpoche, quickly come back to us, continue to teach us, and continue to guide us. And finally, due to all our merits, may the wars that are happening around the world immediately come to an end. May there be no new wars. May there be no famine, no epidemic, no economic problems, no natural disasters, no catastrophes of the elements. And may peace and happiness prevail in everyone's hearts and lives. Thank you very much for joining the meditation this morning. As you might be aware, Tushita will be closed for the summer break in June and July. So before that, we have about 2 weeks left. We have quite a lot of activities happening at the center and online. So for example, tomorrow at 11 a.m., both online and at Tushita, we have Venerable Tenzin Wösel Monkey, who's sharing her vast Dharma knowledge with us in a secular way. So you're most welcome to attend. Tomorrow will be her last session before the summer break, and she's very eloquently sharing wisdom with us. And tomorrow she'll more specifically talk about interdependence and the wisdom of emptiness. So it will be very interesting. I encourage you to join if you can. Then next week on Tuesday, we have Vajrasattva purification meditation. It is one of the practices that is really popular for purifying our negative karmas. So this will be Tuesday evening at 6:30 p.m., also in person and online. Then on Thursday, it is actually Buddha Purnima or Sakadawa. So it is the annual commemoration of the achievement of Buddhahood, of awakening of the Buddha, as well as celebrating his uh, taking birth and passing into paranirvana. So we will have, at the moment, we have scheduled it for 11 a.m. 11 a.m. to about 1 p.m. We'll do a puja of Shakyamuni Buddha, as well as recite a short sutra that is called the Sutra Remembering the Three Jewels. So you're most welcome to attend. I think normally Buddha Purnima is bank holiday, is a day off. So yeah, that's why we are having it at 11 a.m. Then, of course, from Monday to Friday, this meditation at 9 a.m., 9 to 9:30 a.m. online. Thank you very much. Have a beautiful day. Have a nice weekend, and see you soon. Bye bye.